Hi, welcome to Survey Matters with Duncan-Parnell. My name is Mark White, and I'm the Training and Support Manager for DP. Today, I want to talk to you guys about Trimble's RTX correction service. So back on April 1st of 2024, Trimble started giving away a free year of their RTX correction service whenever you buy a Trimble R12i, R780, R750, or R580 receiver. So what is Trimble's RTX correction service? Let me share a quick slideshow with you guys to cover some of the key benefits. So if you guys are watching this channel, you're probably already familiar with doing a base rover RTK survey, or maybe even using a real-time network to do your RTK surveying. So with the base rover, you have your own base, you have your own rover. With a real-time network, you have your own rover, and you're using somebody else's bases. With RTX, you just have your own rover, and it's using something called precise point positioning. And what Trimble did is they built a network of reference stations all over the globe, and these reference stations are used to mitigate clock error, orbit error, and atmospheric biases. And then Trimble takes these corrections, and just like your base would send the correction over to your rover via radio, or a real-time network would send your correction over the internet to your rover, Trimble sends these corrections via geostationary satellite to users back on the ground. Now, why is this a good thing? One of the nice things about that is it gives you worldwide availability. They've got a global reference station network that can calculate these corrections anywhere in the world, and they're using a satellite to send that correction to you, so you're not limited to being, in the geographic area of a real-time network, or having to take your own base station with you wherever you go. So you have worldwide availability. You're not limited by radio. You're not limited by radio range. You're not limited by cell phone service or being inside the area of that network. So then there's also the accuracy of the system. Better than 2 centimeter horizontal accuracy and better than 5 centimeter vertical accuracy RMS values. Okay, so survey grade accuracy. And then the convergence time, or how long does it take to get fixed? In North America, in the US, and in most of Europe, it's less than a minute. Anywhere in the world, it's less than 3 minutes. Now, the system also uses all the GPS constellations. So GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, Baidu, and QZSS. So when you buy a new receiver from Duncan-Parnell, one of these qualifying receivers after April 1st of 2024, our guys at the office are going to have RTX already set up on the receiver for you. So you don't have to do anything with that receiver. Now, what you will have to do is create a new survey style in Trimble Access, but it's really simple, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I've got Trimble Access open. What I need to do is go up to the menu at the top left, then tap on Settings and tap on Survey Styles. Then I'll tap New down at the bottom, and I'll give my survey style a name. Keep it nice and simple. I just call this RTX. It is going to be a GNSS survey style type, so I'll tap Enter and Accept. And then the only thing I really have to set up are my rover options. So I'll tap on Rover Options and change the broadcast format. Survey type is still going to be RTK, but I'll save the broadcast, or set the broadcast format over to RTX SV. That's satellite based, so it's going to give me SV for space vehicles or satellites, so it's going to send me that correction via the satellites. Then I am going to be using an R12i internal for this demo. My rod height's going to be 2M. Don't have to worry about the serial number, and the 2 meters is going to be to the bottom of the quick release there. Whoops, let me scroll up. I will leave my tilt compensation, E-bubble, all that good stuff on there. And I do want to check all the constellation information under there, under GNSS signal tracking, because remember, RTX gives you everything, so I want to make sure everything is checked there. Then I can hit Accept, and that's all I have to set up. All I have to do is go in there and make that one change to tell it that the broadcast format is now RTX SV, and then check all the satellites that I want to see down there. So I'll just tap store and then escape out of there, and I'm ready to set up a job and head to the field. All right, so I got all the gear loaded up in the old Nissan Rogue, and I'm going to head to a monument called Creekstone. It's an NGS monument that's fairly close to our office. I've used it before, checking in with the VRS, and always had good results, usually within a couple of hundreds or so. So what we'll do is we'll head on over to Creekstone, create a job in U.S. state plane coordinates, North Carolina 3200, use GeoID 18, and we'll shoot Creekstone with the VRS network, and then we'll also shoot it with RTX and just kind of get an accuracy check for what we got. Let's hit the road. All right, well, we made it over here to the shopping center that Creekstone is located in. So we'll pull on over here to where the monument is, cut through the Wendy's parking lot. And from what I remember, this thing was recessed into the ground a couple of inches. So we're going to hope that somebody's been here recently and has it uncovered, because your boy forgot a shovel today. So we'll get over here to where the monument is and find out if I'm in luck or not. Well, it doesn't look like anybody's been out here in a while, but I think we're going to get lucky. It looks like the grass has been cut. There's the paint out on the road showing where it is. And I believe it's going to be, whoop, I'm standing on it right here. Oh yeah, there we are. Not too deep at all. Nobody's been out here in a little while, but the disc is not deep at all. All right. Well, let's grab the rover and we'll go test this thing out. All right. So I'm out here at the Creekstone Monument, right next to a busy road. So I apologize about any traffic noise, and the wind is blowing today. It's going around. Hopefully it's not too loud on the mic. But, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll stake Creekstone out, I should say, once with the VRS, and then we'll follow that up with the RTX and just see how they both check. All right, so I've got a job open in Trimble Access, set up in state plane, and that's one of the nice things about RTX is you can set your job up in the normal coordinate system you would use when you're doing any other survey, like for me in U.S. state plane. And Access will be able to transform the RTX corrections over into your coordinate system. So we'll do VRS first, stake this point out, see how it hits. Then we'll do RTX, stake this point out, see how it hits. So I'll go up to menu, stake out, choose the NCVRS first, tell it I want to stake out a point, and I'm going to stake out Creekstone there, hit stake out. Now I will have to, I forgot my pole bracket for the data collector today, so I'll have to set the data collector down, move the IMU around just a little bit to get it going. But I'll choose my VRS CMRX, tap accept there. While it's getting connected, we'll move this guy around just a little bit and get the IMU calibrated there. All right, so the IMU is calibrated. I'll roughly plumb it up because I'm going to use the IMU to get my actual plumb there. All right, so we're connected up. We got the green check there. Looks like we're pretty flat on the north, out about 600s on the east, and we got a fill of, it's bounced around, coming down a little bit now, maybe 700s, 800s. So pretty flat on the north-south. We'll give it 600s on the east, and we're right there around 700 or 800s on the fill. So not terrible. We're within a tenth on everything. It's down to about 600s on the fill there. So we'll call it flat on the north-south, 500s on the east-west, 700s on the fill for the VRS. So I'll escape out of that, escape one more time. We'll go back to measure and end the GNSS survey. Now I'm going to go ahead and power down the receiver because when we start up the RTX survey, I want it to have a cold start so you can see how long it takes to converge there or to get fixed. So I just turned that receiver back on, and we'll give it just a second to boot back up, and now we'll do the RTX survey and see how that is. So we were pretty flat east-west within about 5 or 6 hundredths. I'm sorry, pretty flat north-south within about 5 or 6 hundredths on the east-west, and anywhere from 6 to 8 hundredths on the vertical with the VRS. So now we'll go back up to the menu, stake out. This time we'll choose RTX, stake out points. There's Creekstone again, so we'll stake it out one more time. Give it just a second to connect back up. Got a little lull in traffic, so it's not too loud right now while the light's red. So it's just going to give us a little warning here that our subscription expires in about a month, so I'll click OK there. And then I'll have to set the data collector down, stir it one more time just to go ahead and get that IMU initialized. All right, I got a green check there. So I'll roughly plumb it up, make sure I'm still on the center of the monument, and we'll give it just a second. You'll see that converged pretty fast, actually, right? But it looks like I did not program in my antenna height correctly when I did my survey style. So let me tap on that. We'll change that over to 2 meters. That's going to make a difference, isn't it? We'll accept that. Give it just a second to come down on the vertical. So because I made that change, it's going to make me initialize things one more time so it can figure out where the tip of the pole is. So we'll stir it around there, plumb it back up roughly, and we'll check it out now. All right, so as it comes in, we're about 200 north-south, 200 east-west. So our horizontal is actually a little bit better, but we see our vertical's off just a little bit, right? Now, it's right there around that 5 centimeter accuracy mark that, Trimble references in all their stuff online. 2 centimeters or 5 centimeters is, roughly 2 inches. That's about 1800. So horizontally, we're pretty spot on. We are a little bit worse on the vertical. So, horizontal, and it is coming down a little bit the longer we sit here, but, take that with a grain of salt. If you need to use RTX on a job, here we're getting down to underneath a tenth now that we sit here for a little bit, but the horizontal is really tight. The vertical is a little bit worse. The horizontal is actually tighter than the VRS was, but the vertical's just a little bit worse. It's hanging out in the tenth. So 500s, 400s, and anywhere from a tenth to 1400. So they're both matching up pretty good, both hitting within the specs of the equipment there. So I'll go ahead and end the survey. That was a pretty good test, showing you guys what the accuracy is on a known monument there. I'll escape, and then we'll go back to stake out and end the GNSS survey. And I'll see you guys back in the office to wrap this up in just a few minutes. Power down the receiver, yes. See you back in the office. All right, so we're back in the office, back in the air conditioning. It is getting a little warm here this spring in North Carolina. I got a few key takeaways from our look at the Trimble RTX correction service. The first thing is it's free as of April 1st, 2024. If you buy a Trimble R12i, R780, R580, or R750, you get it free for a year from the date of purchase. The second thing is it converged very quickly out there in the field, right? We were up and working well within the minute that Trimble says you will be in North America and most of Europe. And globally, it's supposed to converge within 3 minutes, but we saw that it converged very quickly for us here in the States. And the other thing was accuracy. We checked into a known NGS monument, and we were within Trimble's accuracy specs of 2 centimeters by 5 centimeters. It also compared pretty favorably to our local VRS. It was actually a little bit better horizontally, a little bit worse vertically, but it did compare very favorably, and we did see that performance of greater than 2 centimeters horizontal and 5 centimeters vertical. So the accuracy is there as well. And, the other great thing is it's a global solution. You're not limited by being in the geographic area of your VRS network. You're not limited by the lack of cell phone service because corrections are coming from the satellites. You don't have radio range issues. You don't have to take a base station with you. So there's a lot of pluses with Trimble RTX. So thanks for watching this edition of Survey Matters with Duncan-Parnell, and we'll see you at the next one.